My name is Matthew Westcoat, and this is my persuasive speech. Here is my audience. 1, 2, 3, and can't see it in the corner. 4. All right. The reason why I've got you guys here today is because I wanted to persuade you guys to not use tobacco products. Now, according to the CDC, there is an estimated 37.8 million adult smokers in the United States. Now, out of all of those people, 480,000 of deaths that happen every year are directly related to smoking. That accounts for almost 1 in 5 total deaths in the United States every year. Now, the reason I want you to listen is because everybody here probably knows or is someone that either uses or has used tobacco. I want you to be able to go out there to educate these people that why they shouldn't use it, or if you do use tobacco, why you shouldn't. Now, in addition to all of the research that I have done on this topic, I also have a certain amount of credibility because I also was a smoker once upon a time. I quit almost 3 years ago, and I was a pack-a-day smoker for almost 7 years. You know, it's a hard thing to give up, but it is possible. Now, during this speech, we will be covering the reasons why you shouldn't reasons why you shouldn't use tobacco, what somebody can do in order to help somebody quit smoking or using tobacco, and what life would be like without tobacco, not only for the individual, but for society as a whole. Now, according to progressreport.cancer.gov, tobacco use accounts for 30% of all cancer cases that happen every year. Now, these cancers can include the cancer of the lung, the larynx, mouth, the esophagus, the pharynx, bladder, pancreas, kidney, cervix, stomach, and acute myeloid leukemia. Wow. But it doesn't stop there, guys. There are other reasons why you shouldn't use tobacco. Now, tobacco use is a major contributor to cardiovascular disease for people who use it. Now, according to the CDC on heart disease, some of the things that smoking can contribute to when it comes to cardiovascular disease includes it can raise your triglycerides. It can lower the good cholesterol in your body. It makes your blood a little stickier, it makes it a little thicker, which can attribute and lead to blood clots, which can lead to cut off blood flow not only to your heart, but to your brain. And it also can increase the plaque buildup, which can lead to the increased heart attacks. Now, if that isn't enough of a reason to not smoke or use tobacco, there's even more. Now, according to the American Dental Association, both cigarette and smokeless tobacco cause a host of issues for their users. These issues include gingival ketosis, tooth discoloration, halitosis, gingival recession, alveolar bone damage, and periodontal disease. These should be enough reasons for anybody to not use tobacco. It's a senseless habit. Now that we have covered some of the more detrimental issues that people who smoke or use tobacco face, we'll move on to what you guys can do to help people who do use tobacco. First and foremost, you can be there for them to vent. If somebody needs to vent at you because they're going through a withdrawal or they're having a bad day, listen to them. Take it from me, it's one of the worst things I've ever went through in my entire life. It's hard, and anything and everything sets you off. I personally felt as if whenever I was trying to give up smoking, that I couldn't catch my breath. It was like I was drowning almost, and I just wanted to get that breath of air, and I couldn't do it. It's really, really hard. You can also educate these people, on the reasons why they should quit smoking or using tobacco. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the extra diseases and everything that are attributed to it. Give them some other reasons why. Their kids don't like it, their significant other doesn't like it, it smells bad, stuff of that nature. Give them some extra reason, give them some motivation to continue to quit using tobacco. And lastly, help them come up with some creative, outlets for their frustration, for whenever they're going through their addiction. You know, maybe that could be exercise. You could point them in the direction of a good book series to read. You know, maybe they need to learn a different way to cook something in the kitchen. It could be anything and everything. Any sort of creative outlet helps out, even if it only distracts them for 5 or 10 minutes. Now, according to cancer.org, they recommend that for people who have smoked in particular, if they miss like holding the cigarette, you're supposed to suggest to them holding a pen or a paper clip or a coin, something of the nature, so that they get their fix in. So they have something in their hand and they don't think about it. Now we've covered some of the ways that you can help people cope with smoking or using tobacco. I wanted to touch briefly on what life would be like without tobacco as a whole. Now, for a person, as an individual, it's a great thing. You know, they will be able to breathe better, so on and so forth, which is great. But it goes further than that. It goes to society. With society, if we did not have tobacco for sale, if it wasn't used at all, we'd be able to focus on more important issues that plague us all as a society. These issues include mental illness, obesity. Obesity is a huge issue in the United States as of right now, and also the growing income inequality that plagues us every day. Not only, in addition to that, by eliminating tobacco use, we increase the talent pool that we can pull from to solve these issues. That's 480,000 people a year that die directly because of tobacco use. Imagine if we had 480,000 more ideas on how we could solve these problems. You know, and most importantly, if we can eradicate tobacco, we can prove to ourselves as a society that we can do anything. Now, by listening to this speech, I hope that I have convinced you that smoking or using tobacco is not the cool thing to do. You shouldn't do it. It costs money. It causes a lot of problems, both socially and for your health. We have covered the effects that tobacco use has, whether it be from like your heart disease, cancer, and from your dental point of view. But most importantly, the biggest message I want to leave with you guys with today is eradicating tobacco is eradicating tobacco is bigger than any one person. If we can eliminate it as a society, we can give up tobacco not only for ourselves, but we can do it for our kids and our grandkids so they never have to learn and grapple with the addiction that follows. Thank you so much for listening. Let's show everybody here. That's my audience. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.